Euromaxx Highlights. And here's your host, Anne O'Donnell.
Hello and welcome to Euromaxx Highlights. Here are the best bits of the week for you. Let's have a look. The sky's the limit, a Dutch artist and his indoor clouds. Underground art, an Italian city brightens up its subway stations. And drone alarm when quadrocopters light up the sky in Austria. Well, for someone who has his head in the clouds, Dutch artist Bernard Schmilde seems to be very well grounded. He generates a storm of attention with his work by creating indoor clouds. His creations really make you question reality, though, even if it's only for a split second. We accompanied Schmilde on a shoot to see how he produces these indoor weather phenomena.
These aren't computer-enhanced pictures, but real clouds in real rooms. Dutch artist Bernard Schmilde has called this series of pictures Nimbus. He's fascinated by ambiguity.
Clouds can be many things and they can be threatening, but on the other hand they can also be like a divine situation almost. So there's always this duality in the work as well. Same as it builds up, but at the same time it falls apart again. So it's just there for a few seconds. So it's really about something that happened on that location is then afterwards it's gone.
Schmilde, who lives in Amsterdam, has been creating indoor clouds since 2010. St. Peter's Church in Cologne is regularly used for art projects, including works by Bernard Schmilde. He's especially fascinated by the building's nave.
The space is almost like the plinth for the work. And I like it when there's a double connection as an exhibition space, but also as a formal use, so in this case as a church.
Schmilde's cloud pictures cost up to €8,000 and are less science and technology heavy than you might think.
I work with a fog machine and with water, and it's just water vapor that I use. And the idea is that there's a burst of smoke going into the space, and I build a wall with water vapor on the position whereabouts I want to position the clouds, so that should be in the middle somewhere here. So I make the space wet and cold, and build a wall of vapor where the smoke bumps into, and the water kind of sticks to the smoke, makes it heavier and pours it down. So it keeps it together for just a few seconds maybe, depending on the space, because every space works differently.
Lamps in the room imitate the sun. The way the smoke refracts the light determines the mood of the cloud. In order to get the perfect shot, Schmilde spends days running tests. During that phase, he doesn't like people to watch.
By doing a performance, you would make a different work, I think. Then it will be about a collective memory, and people will be standing here. And then the work would also be about how do you make something. And for me, it's more about the idea that counts, and the idea of this cloud inside the space. So therefore, I just want to have this image.
Schmilde's pictures are fascinating. 2 years ago, he staged famous designers alongside his clouds for the international fashion magazine Harper's Bazaar. He often enlists the help of a professional photographer. After all, he is striving for technically perfect pictures. Time magazine in the United States chose his clouds as one of the most important inventions of 2012.
It has spread around quite fast via the internet, and I think it's like a really universal, timeless image. Maybe that's why so many people are like it in a way.
Bernard Schmilde's cloud pictures foster awareness of transience by capturing it for posterity.
Well, the month-long lobster season in Sweden has some very strict rules, and visitors from abroad are only allowed to catch lobster in the company of an experienced Swedish guide. Now, though, an increasing number of hotels are offering deals so that their guests can also fish with the locals. These trips are fast becoming a very big hit.
A stunning coastline and picture-perfect villages. The Bohuslän province on Sweden's western coast. This is where you'll find the fishing village of Fjällbacka, famous for its lobsters. Autumn is lobster season. For lobster fishers like Per Karlsson, it's a busy time.
It's more people here when the lobster fishing starts because the people who live in summer house, they come back after the summer and live here for 1 or 2 weeks just for fishing little lobster and eat lobster, of course.
Lobster is considered a delicacy around the world, including among tourists from Sweden itself. That's why Per Karlsson has been offering lobster safaris for more than a decade. The trips take 2 hours. This time he's taking out a team of lawyers from the southern Swedish town of Jönköping.
I won't be disappointed if we catch no lobster. If I can get some sun and enjoy the sea, then I'm fine.
Luckily, there's an abundance of sun, making it an optimal day for the journey among the rocky islands. Per Karlsson used to come here fishing as a child and knows the area well.
We go out here. Here is Fiskholmen, Fish Islands, and we go south like this and back here. It's about 2 hours.
Per Karlsson has marked the sites where he has sunk lobster traps. The sea is around 20 meters deep. Hauling up the traps can be strenuous work.
It's quite heavy, but I'm a strong man.
The exertion seems to have paid off. There's a lobster in the trap, but this one won't end up in the pot.
This one is a girl, and you see they have room here. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's laid down by Swedish fishing regulations. The trap is returned to the water with a few tasty morsels as bait.
It's salted herring. The lobster feel the smell and go in here and try to eat some herring, and after that I go in here, and here they couldn't go out when they are in here.
Before Per Karlsson throws the trap back in, he waits for instructions from the cabin. His brother Lars Karlsson is using sonar equipment to monitor the seabed.
I have to see in the bottom to find stones. The lobster lives in stones.
That's where Per drops the basket. The site is promising. There's already a trap there. There's a lobster inside it. This time it's a male. Now he has to check if it's big enough to take back.
It must be from the backside of the eye to the backside of the head. It must be 8 centimeters. And you see it's 1 or 2 millimeters. So this is okay.
Under Swedish fishing regulations, any smaller lobster must be returned to the sea. But this one ends up in the box. It'll fetch a tidy price at the fish market. The day's catch totals 5 lobsters. Just enough for the 10-strong fishing safari, who seem happy to be heading back to dry ground. At the boathouse, Lars Karlsson starts preparing the seafood. He boils the lobsters in lightly salted water for 10 minutes. That gives the shell its typical bright red color. Then he serves the lobsters fresh. But there's one last step before everyone can tuck in.
just have to go to the right pieces and know how to break the legs, so to speak, and to crush the bone.
A trip costs around 260 euros, including accommodation and food. Lobster safaris are offered only until the end of November.
Well, police in the Austrian city of Linz have been getting a number of phone calls from anxious residents who thought they had seen UFOs flying above the city. But it turns out the lights come from small drones with LEDs attached that produce intriguing light shows at night. It's all just part of a local art project by the Ars Electronica Institute.
Lights in the sky form patterns, scatter, and move in perfect sync, as if controlled by an invisible hand.
It's impossible. You just can't explain it. You start to speculate. They may be balloons, or maybe there are cranes controlling these lights. But then they rotate and fly over and around each other, and you run out of explanations. That's when technology becomes magic.
What you can't see in the dark, the tiny lights are LEDs attached to quadrocopters, little drones that move through the sky almost noiselessly. They were developed by the Ars Electronica Institute's Future Lab in Linz, Austria. The drones' bodies are produced by a German company. The lab created the light designs, called Spexels, itself.
They can produce any hue. First, we run them through a test routine. White, then R, G, and B, red, green, and blue. And using those three colors, we can create any colors we like.
The drones are lined up in rows before they're launched. The choreographies are done using a software the team developed themselves, which also keeps the drones from crashing in mid-air. Every few seconds, a GPS system updates the computer on each drone's position.
A computer on the ground communicates with each drone and directs its positions. At that point, we're only really on hand to monitor things. The swarm acts autonomously in conjunction with a computer, which just runs through its programming.
The challenge is to keep them up in the air in their correct formation. Problems are often caused by the wind. If one of the drones crashes, a 3,500 euro piece of technology is wasted. So far, there's been no serious damage. The first show in 2012 in Linz was a big success. Almost 50 drones took to the sky at the same time, a world record yet to be broken. Soon, more requests started coming in. For example, from Umeå in Sweden for the ceremony launching its year as European Capital of Culture in 2014. Or from Australia, where the team drew a kangaroo over the skies of Brisbane. Spexels also added some real razzmatazz to a stage show in Sharjah, in the United Arab Emirates. Some people wonder if the mysterious flying lights are objects from another world.
That happens all the time. Reports keep showing up in the press about people in the neighborhood where we'd been flying the drones having sighted UFOs. I think it's fantastic.
Now Future Lab operates a fleet of 75 drones, but they have yet to take to the skies all at the same time.
The more of these points of light in the sky, the more means of expression and ways to vary them you've got. The system as it exists right now could easily handle 100 or 200 vehicles. And we've set ourselves that goal. We intend to achieve that and more.
The fleet of drones is set for launch soon, this time on course for the United States, on a mission to dazzle audiences with their bright choreographies.
Well, from an urban art project in the sky to one below the surface. In our next report, we head south to the Italian city of Naples. Here, 13 subway stations have been transformed into stunning underground art galleries. They are part of an ongoing art project, so we headed under the city streets for a closer look.
It's like a keyhole into the Earth's interior. These escalators lead down to a world below sea level. Silver and blue light evoke the aquatic element. Designed by Spanish architect Oscar Tusquets Blanca, the interior of the Toledo metro station in Naples is an environment like no other. It's like drifting into a dream world, yet the architect wanted commuters to maintain a connection to life above.
This is the heart, the real core of the project. It was a remarkable idea to create light wells to channel daylight from above. What's unusual is that here we are 40 meters below ground, and we know exactly where we are because we can see the light from the street. I wanted to construct a station that would have a cheerful feeling to it and would look different at every corner.
Toledo Metro Station. Art in the subway system plays an important role in Naples. This photo installation along the moving walkway is called The Human Race. Artist Oliviero Toscani took these pictures 4 years ago to create a family album featuring the Neapolitan people.
I like the idea of entering a subway station, like we're doing now, and being surrounded by all these faces, looking at you and welcoming you to the city. In Naples, people are much more important than ancient monuments are.
People passing down Europe's longest escalator are treated to a light installation by theater director Robert Wilson. The ride leads through ancient city walls, thousands of years old. Old and new elements coexist everywhere.
It's definitely an improvement, but we still have a lot of problems in the city. The streets are in very bad condition. Maybe all this money that went into building the station should have gone into improving infrastructure. Well, let's hope this is going to last. I hope they maintain it and don't let it go to seed.
Dante Station has been in service for 13 years. Glass and steel give the entrance area a light and airy touch. Down below, commuters are guided by a quote from Dante. Here, the subway is meant to be more than a means of transportation. Almost 150 artworks are displayed at stations along lines 1 and 6. And above ground, piazzas are also being redecorated. The city is trying to boost its image with this ambitious, over €2 billion project. It's proved a challenge both technically and financially. Crews keep hitting ancient ruins, and that's delayed construction.
Below the Piazza Municipio, we came across the foundations of a Roman harbor with 3 undamaged ships. We recovered them. We're integrating the surrounding building into construction.
Università is the name of this station, which was designed by Karim Rashid. The city regularly offers guided tours to introduce visitors to the artists' and architects' ideas.
This is all very original. I think it's very pretty. It's very colourful and cheerful. I really like these stations. It's a good way of introducing people to the artists and their work.
The buzz is growing about what the next new station will look like, and an end isn't in sight yet. Construction on Naples' underground system is set to continue for at least another 5 years.
And finally, in today's programme, we head some 3,000 kilometres north-east of Naples to Estonia. That's where a modified version of the good old playground swing is used for a rather unusual national sport. Since it was developed in 1996, it has become a popular way to keep fit there. There is even a competition element now involved, as the telescopic swing arms made of steel gradually extend, which makes it all the more challenging.
One big push, and you're off. This is keeking, an extreme sport from Estonia. It's like swinging, except you go much higher, even over the top. You hold on to metal arms that extend up to 8 meters.
This is like you come down and you want to do something and you have such energy. And that adrenaline you get, this is really good. Like it's get high without drugs, and it's addictive.
On this day, Järvakendi, a village some 100 kilometers south of the Estonian capital Tallinn, is hosting a keeking competition. Men, women and children try their luck on the swings of different heights that are anchored to the ground with ropes. This unusual sport, derived from regular swinging, was invented in 1996 by Estonian Aadu Kosk.
I've been familiar with swings since I was a child. Where I grew up, there were iron loop-the-loop swings which really impressed me. So I had the idea of building a swing like this, and these village swings served as models.
Swings enjoy a long tradition in Estonia. These drawings date from the 19th century. Each village used to have a big wooden swing, which functioned as a meeting place. Many of these traditional swings are still around today. Alari Vatra lives in Tallinn. The Estonian capital boasts plenty of swings. Here at the city's playgrounds, children learn the basics of keeking.
From here it starts. Children get basic how to use their hands and legs. Of course it's fun, and with fun comes sport.
Back in Järvakendi, they ensure the athletes' hands and feet are well secured. That's because centrifugal force makes it hard for them to hold on. Even if it looks dangerous, organizer Ants Tamme says keeking is a very safe sport.
Everybody can do it. If you are a small child, if you are a, I don't know, basketball player, the age is not important, the gender is not important. Kicking, as simple as it seems, harder than you ever can imagine, more extreme, but still safe enough to try, and to try it for everybody.
It's important to warm up in advance, as keeking gives the back and thigh muscles a real workout. For the women, the arms of the swing are up to 6 meters long. That's like performing a handstand more than 10 meters above the ground.
I'm afraid of heights, but nobody believes it, really. But when you are on swing, then you forget it.
Here, 7 athletes managed the loop-the-loop with a swing length of more than 6 meters. That takes strength, coordination and good timing. In the end, world record holder Ants Tamme beat his personal best, but lost his title. Kasper Timeshow, a professional rower from Viljandi, managed a 360-degree rotation with a length of 7.08 metres. That's 5 centimetres higher than the previous benchmark set in 2012. A new Keeking world record.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next week with more, so we'll see you then. Bye-bye.